Well, great. I guess we'll open it up for some questions. If anybody has any questions, by all means, let's ask away.
Jeff Starr. Startup New York. I'm a Startup New York company. I'm getting my benefits about 3 years in. I'm going to maintain my office on the campus, but I'm ready to open up a little something else for manufacturing to get product up and running. Do I have to give up my Startup New York benefits in order to come talk to you people? Or can I start to build? You know, I come to the jobs, all that good stuff.
Right. Which campus are you on?
I'll pick Stony Brook or Farmingdale, either one.
Oh, but so you're not actually in Startup New York now?
It's not for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you a hypothetical for...
Right. A company can, so this Empire State Development also runs the Startup New York program. And Stony Brook is our largest campus with Startup New York space and companies. You can keep your Startup New York location as long and keep those benefits as long as you're not going to move any jobs out of the Startup New York tax-free area. If you're going to come into the park and lease space on Oser Avenue and add 15 manufacturing jobs, you can stay in Startup New York and also get Excelsior tax credits or loans from us for the non-Startup New York location.
Well, maybe that's, you just answered the question, but to be clear, the jobs that are now sitting here in the park, manufacturing jobs, those, and part of Startup New York is no state taxes. Will those employees benefit by the Startup New York no taxes?
No.
They have to be physically on.
They have to be physically located in the tax-free area on the campus. But you can keep your R&D on the campus and put your manufacturing here in the park and get Excelsior benefits, which quite frankly could be almost as valuable to you as Startup New York.
To the company, maybe not the employees that do that.
Correct, correct.
I hear a lot about manufacturing on Long Island and other industries, but I'm wondering if there's any, we didn't talk, I think a lot of the people in this building are probably service-oriented companies and seem that we kind of glossed over. Is there any incentives or anything that we know that focuses towards the service industries or the tech industries that are not as maybe sexy as manufacturing and pharma?
So I guess I'll jump in. So for us, it really depends on what type of service industry it is. So we, like the state and John, we have a prohibition on retail. And New York State defines retail pretty broadly as any place that you can go in and acquire a good or a service. So in each instance, if you're not sure, please give us a call, because there are...
HVACs, the managed service providers, companies, accountants, things like that.
Right, so that's a very gray area for us. So one example was we worked with a company called Phonar, and they do stand-up MRI machines. And so we were able to work with them on their HQ, but not in their facilities where people are actually going in and having the MRIs done. So of course, any of the back office, those types of facilities we can help. But for us, it is a fine line with regards to service. But I would urge you to call us and have a conversation, and we can certainly determine from that conversation whether or not we're in a position to assist.
I think we're in a similar position. We'll be able to help on back office. But I think in terms of the HVAC, some of those service providers that tap into the resources we can provide, I think it would be naive of us as a utility to think that somebody's going to call up National Grid and say, hey, where am I going to get a new boiler? What's the best boiler or the new best HVAC system for us to upgrade? They're going to reach out to the service providers. So I think one of the things that we have internally is we have a couple of folks who deal directly with, at least on the industry side, of people who are going in, contractors, et cetera, so we can help streamline the process for your customers to get the rebate. So it's a value add when you're trying to make a sale, saying, you're going to go and you're buying some new heaters for your unit, you do the contract with us, we'll help process those rebates, so you don't even need to worry about doing it yourself. So it's a value add, I think, towards your business in the long run that we can offer, and we can sit there here afterwards and put you in touch with those folks. I think that's, again, value add is, it's not always about dollars and cents. It's knowing who the right person is to get a response in 1 or 2 days versus waiting 60 days. You think about online purchasing. my wife says, "Oh, call customer service." We have the Ring doorbell at home. She goes, "Call the customer service. We need a response right now." I go, "They don't have a 1-800 number. You have to submit online and wait 5 business days for somebody to email you back." I think that's what a lot of the businesses in the HIA do, is you provide that level of instant customer service. So we try to provide that to you as well.
And if I could just add in, so similar with PSEG Long Island, right? So energy efficiency wise, if you're doing the project in your building, then we can qualify you for some rebate assistance. If you're a service provider like an HVAC installer, then yes, same thing, we'll help you with the process of helping provide rebates to your customers. If you do lighting installation, for example, we do have a new partner program. So if you were trained by us and approved on this partner list, then we can actually help you to speed through the process. There's no pre-approvals and pre-inspections needed. So there are different things that are available to services as well.
Right, and we tend to think of our jobs, because we really can't help a lot of service businesses. Our job is really to keep the economy strong so that service businesses have a large market here. We believe that it's our prohibition of helping service businesses and retail businesses really stems from the fact that if we help an HVAC company in Hauppauge, it's not going to be fair when he competes against a company in Garden City for the same job. But a manufacturer who might be competing with companies all over the country, all over the world, we believe it is fair to provide a level playing field in New York State. But I would say, talk to us early, because it really depends on what companies call service. So we've had HVAC companies where they have a large metal bending operation where we were able to help them. We just couldn't help the installation side of that business. So we'll always try. If there's a way to do it, we'll try it.
I have a question for Kelly. We've already spoken. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We've already spoken with the IDA, and our service business does qualify for one of the programs. However, we're looking to purchase a building because the company is growing so quickly. But finding office space that's large enough that isn't too large has become a problem. We've been looking for 2 years because we can't find anything that qualifies us for the 51% occupancy.
Right.
Is there any workaround for that, or other programs perhaps?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we should probably talk more about that offline to see if we can get creative. We have in the past been able to do carve-outs where we just afford the benefits to that portion of the business. We just a couple of years ago, and Anthony was a big part of this, did a transaction with Steel Equities, and what they did was they took a huge, large space on Comac Road, and they have put a variety of companies in there. I mean, the days of getting these huge global companies is gone, right? So when Force Labs left, we were, what happens to that building? So that was a unique transaction that we were able to kind of come up with a way so that the owner is responsible for the number of jobs, and then he passes on that responsibility to the businesses that are within. Because our benefits are always for the companies, not for the landlords. So we're here to support businesses and find ways of doing that. So no easy answer, but more than happy to look at that again and see if we can find a more creative solution. And maybe Anthony would have some ideas about that as a former IDA and consultant.
Yeah, there's hopefully ways to get creative, to do that.
Right.
Any other questions? Ron?
Yeah, hi, Ron Loveland, president of Summit Safety and Efficiency Solutions. I heard a lot about some of the great programs for folks that are buying buildings and equipment. We also talked about workforce development, but I haven't heard any conversation about the Department of Labor funds available for training.
Okay, so in this upcoming regional council round, new this year, the governor is proposing $175 million statewide for workforce-type projects. We haven't seen the rules and regs on it, but we believe it's going to greatly increase the amount of workforce training, which in the past has only been about $5 million a year statewide, a very small amount of money. But there are other resources. If companies come to us looking for workforce training, even outside the round, I think we would sit down with them, understand what they need. There are existing Department of Labor programs. There is funding from the 3 workforce investment boards. Stony Brook University has funding for workforce. So we would try to find existing resources if they can't wait for the regional council round.
Anyone else? Oh, Ron, part 2.
Yeah, one more question. I had a customer that applied last year for the CFA, and after the application, they found out that they weren't correctly oriented in the Grants Gateway program. So how do we avoid that in the future for some of the potential folks that are applying for the CFA?
Right, so in the CFA process, the Grants Gateway is really a pre-qualification that not-for-profit entities have to fill out. It doesn't, if you're a for-profit company, you don't have to worry about it, but a not-for-profit entity that's applying for CFA funding from us should come to us very early, and we would just simply recommend they go onto the Grants Gateway program, and there's a link in the CFA in our application, and get pre-qualified for that ahead of time so that it doesn't become an issue after the fact.
Any other questions? Again, I'm Anthony Mineta. My contact information is on the back table if you want to follow up with me on anything. I thought it was a very informative panel discussion today. Thanks everyone on the panel for participating. We greatly appreciate your time. Thank you everybody for coming. Let's give them a round of applause.